Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into a story many of you, well, you probably think you know it, Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods in Norse mythology.
Right. It's often seen as this grand sort of poetic prophecy, the world ending, very dramatic.
Exactly. But what if that familiar myth? What if it holds something completely unexpected? What if Ragnarok wasn't just, a wild prophecy or some fantasy, but actually a marvelous record of a real event, a huge cataclysmic event,
Yep.
specifically a comet hitting us?
That's the core idea we're exploring today, yeah.
So this deep dive, it's built on some really compelling excerpts from Ragnarok, the comet's fury and world's rebirth. It's a fascinating work, draws heavily on those core Scandinavian legends, the Elder and Younger Eddas.
Foundational texts, really.
Absolutely. And our mission today is to properly unpack this, how these ancient stories could actually be providing a detailed, almost scientific account of a cosmic disaster.
Its aftermath, the destruction.
And crucially, the eventual rebirth of the world. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
So before all the cosmic fireworks, what was the world like according to these legends? The source suggests it was already in a pretty dire state.
Yeah, that's right. Almost like it was asking for trouble, you could say. Ripe for a reckoning.
The Elder Edda paints a really grim picture. It says, there saw she wade in the heavy streams men foul murderers and perjurers.
It gets worse. Brothers slay brothers, sisters, children, shed each other's blood.
Wow. Hard as the world. Sensual sin grows huge. It sounds like society is really breaking down.
Totally destabilized. And it wasn't just, random acts. The legends talk about whole eras like sword ages, axe ages, shields are cleft in twain, storm ages, murder ages.
Till the world falls dead and men no longer spare or pity one another. It really sets a scene, doesn't it?
It does. And the source points out this detail. 3 winters, 3 years of great wars just before the main event. So a long period of strife.
Okay, so the world's in chaos. How does the source connect this moral decline to a physical event?
Well, what's fascinating here is how our source interprets this age of crime. It's not just a moral failing, it actually sets the stage. This decay becomes the sort of justification or maybe the precursor for a physical cleansing, and the name Ragnarok itself might hold a clue.
Right, I've heard it means twilight of the gods or something.
That's one common interpretation, yeah. Professor Anderson's etymology. Region, gods, and rooker. Darkness. Darkness of the gods. Makes sense poetically. But our source offers another take, maybe more fitting for this comet theory.
Yeah.
It looks at Icelandic, Danish, Swedish words, rin, meaning rain,
Okay.
and rurk, meaning smoke or dust.
It's a rain of dust.
Exactly, the rain of dust, which is interesting because some ancient Indian legends actually describe a similar fallout as ashes.
Huh. So that changes things. It's not just symbolic darkness, it's literal fallout.
Precisely. It shifts the whole context from purely spiritual to something very physical, very tangible, something falling from the sky.
Okay, wow. A rain of dust. So, with the world already in this state, how do the legends describe the start of this cosmic event? What are the first signs?
They're terrifying, frankly. The Eddas say, then happens that which will seem a great miracle, that the wolf devours the sun.
Wolf devours the sun.
And this will seem a great loss. And then, right after, the other wolf devours the moon, and this too will cause great mischief.
2 wolves. One for the sun, one for the moon.
That's the imagery. And our source interprets these wolves as comets.
Right.
One hitting or passing very close to the sun, the other doing the same to the moon. And there's a key detail here. Comets apparently often come in pairs or triplets.
So that fits the 2 wolves idea.
It lends it some weight, yeah. And the horror doesn't stop there. The legends also say, the stars shall be hurled from heaven.
Like meteors.
That's the interpretation. The blazing debris of the comet raining down on Earth, a fiery shower. You just have to imagine what seeing that must have been like.
A truly apocalyptic vision. Sun and moon gone, stars falling. Terrifying. So that's happening in the sky. What about on Earth? Any immediate effects described?
Oh, absolutely. The legends are incredibly vivid about the terrestrial impact. It says, the Earth will shake so violently that trees will be torn up by the roots.
Massive earthquakes.
The mountains will topple down, and all bonds and fetters will be broken and snapped, everything just coming apart.
That sounds like other ancient disaster accounts too, doesn't it? Like Hesiod.
It does resonate strongly, yeah. Suggests maybe a widespread memory of something like this. But here's where it gets really interesting. The legends give names to these destructive forces, these comets.
The wolves.
Well, now they're called something else. the Fenris wolf gets loose, and also the Midgard serpent writhes in giant rage and seeks to gain the land.
Fenris wolf and the Midgard serpent. So the source says these aren't just monsters.
It argues they're direct symbolic representations of the comets themselves impacting the Earth.
Yeah, that's a huge shift. Let's focus on the Fenris wolf. What details make it sound like a comet?
The descriptions are remarkably specific. For Fenris, it says it advances with wide open mouth. The upper jaw reaches to heaven and the lower jaw is on the Earth.
Wow, that's enormous.
Right. The source sees this as the comet's huge tail stretching from Earth all the way to the sun. Imagine that scale.
Incredible. What else?
Its fiery nature. Fire flashes from his eyes and nostrils. And this isn't just poetry.
No.
Our source quotes a more recent writer describing comets near the sun, how jets of bright light start out from the nucleus, and then these jets are turned backward, stream from it, until they are fashioned into a tail.
That sounds remarkably similar, like an observation.
It really does. Like they saw something and described it in the language of myth they had available.
Okay, the level of detail is pretty striking. So Fenris is one comet. What about the Midgard serpent? How does that fit the comet idea?
Well, the serpent is just as destructive. Its closeness disturbs the oceans, causing the sea to rush over the Earth. So massive tsunamis, flooding.
Okay, makes sense with a huge object nearby.
But it's the serpent's breath, its exhalations that are really key. It vomits forth venom, defiling all the air and the sea.
That's poison.
Exactly. And the source explicitly says this poison is likely carbureted hydrogen gas, basically hydrocarbons.
Hydrocarbons, like stuff scientists find in comets now.
Precisely. Stuff a spectroscope would detect in a comet's tail today. That's a startlingly specific, almost scientific detail, right? Connecting myth to modern chemistry.
That is specific. Wow.
And there's more. The legends say the wolf and the serpent move together, side by side, like Biela's comet, which famously split into two observable pieces back in the 19th century.
Two comets moving together.
Yeah. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, these aren't just wild stories. They seem like detailed, allegorical descriptions of observable, catastrophic events.
Events that would utterly change the planet. It's amazing they recorded it with such imagery. So we have comets shaking the Earth, flooding it, poisoning the air. What's happening in the sky during all this? Does it get even worse?
It does. The Eddas say the heavens are rent in twain.
The sky splits open.
And the sons of Muspelheim come riding through the opening. And leading them is Surt. He rides first, and before him and after him, flames burning fire. It's this image of the sky itself tearing apart.
Muspelheim, that's the realm of fire in Norse myth, isn't it?
It is, and the interpretation here is that Muspelheim isn't just a place, it's what the sky looks like when the comets hit. It becomes a world of fire, split open by the impacts.
The Day of Judgment scenario.
Exactly. And Surt, this figure leading the charge, he's seen as a demon associated with the comet, probably representing the blazing nucleus itself.
A fiery comet nucleus leading the destruction.
Yeah.
Okay, so the sky is on fire. Then the legends mention something called Bifrost breaking. What was that?
Right, Bifrost destruction is really significant. The Eddas say, as they ride over Bifrost, it breaks to pieces. Now, usually we think of Bifrost as the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah.
But our source argues it was seen as more than that. A prolongation of land westward from Europe, which connected the British Islands with the island home of the gods.
Wait, an actual land bridge? Out in the Atlantic?
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And the source points to what it calls geological proofs, things like Tennyson's poems about Lyonesse, that sunken kingdom, and old stories from Cornwall about fishermen finding strange household relics at very low tides, or seeing quaint habitations deep underwater, folklore maybe, but persistent.
So the interpretation is?
That the comet strikes the planet west of Europe, crushing this land bridge, this bridge of Bifrost, and sinking it. A direct physical impact causing huge geological change.
Land literally swallowed by the sea because of the comet strike. Okay, this is intense. So comets are hitting, land is sinking, the sky's on fire. Then there's this mighty battle on a plain called Vigrid.
Yes, this seems to be the climax of the disaster on the ground. The plain of Vigrid is described as huge, 100 miles on each side, the heart of the civilized land.
And who's fighting?
It's basically the personified forces of the comet catastrophe against the gods.
Right.
You've got the Fenris wolf, the Midgard serpent, like that trickster figure representing maybe the unpredictable chaos.
Okay.
Hraim, the frost giants maybe representing the sudden cold shifts. And all the friends of hell, the goddess of death, it's total annihilation personified.
And the gods are trying to fight back.
They are, yeah. But the source points out that their struggle, their very helplessness and deaths, really just emphasizes how immense the disaster was. No defense was possible, not even for gods.
So what are the big matchups in this battle? Who fights who?
Well, you have these iconic clashes. Odin, chief of the gods, goes up against the Fenris wolf. Thor tackles the Midgard serpent.
And how does Thor fare? He's the strong one, right?
He is, and he actually succeeds. He gets great renown by slaying the Midgard serpent, but retreats only 9 paces when he falls to the earth dead, poisoned by the venom that the serpent blows upon him.
Poisoned, just like you mentioned.
Exactly. The source gives that direct explanation again. He has breathed the carbureted hydrogen gas. The comet's toxic fumes got him even after he won the physical fight.
Incredible. Any other major deaths?
Oh, yeah, it's a slaughter. Frey fights Surt, the fire leader, and falls. There's a dog named Garm, maybe another comet fragment, who fights the god Tyr. They kill each other. Odin gets swallowed by the wolf.
Odin dies.
Swallowed whole, though his son Vidar avenges him later by tearing the wolf's jaws apart. And Loke and the god Heimdall also kill each other. It's just utter devastation.
Wow, even the gods fall. It paints a picture of just overwhelming, inescapable destruction. And it culminates with Surt, right? What does he do?
Yes, after the battles, thereafter Surt flings fire over the earth and burns up all the world. A global firestorm, the ultimate fiery end.
But then, after the fire, what happens?
It's a stark reversal. The source says, and what follow then? Ice and cold and winter. Fire, then ice.
Immediately.
That's the sequence given. Wickedness, then comets, then fire, then ice. And it's not just a little cold snap. This is the Fimble Winter.
Fimble Winter.
Meaning the mighty, the great, the iron winter. The legends describe 3 such winters in succession without any intervening summer, just relentless cold.
3 years, no summer.
Snow from all directions, severe frosts, biting winds, no joy in the sun. A complete climate collapse into deep cold.
And how does the source connect this?
Directly to the Ice Age. It says, this Fimble Winter is the glacial period which followed the drift, the period when glaciers covered vast parts of the earth.
So the myth sequence matches a possible geological sequence.
Yeah.
Impact, firestorm, then impact winter, leading to an ice age.
That's the argument, and there are more details. The Elder Edda says the Fenris wolf feeds on bodies and stains the gods' homes with red blood.
Okay.
The interpretation, that's the iron-stained red clay cast down by the comet, covering everything, turning water red.
The comet dust again.
Exactly. And the Younger Edda gives an even more precise description of this ice age. It talks about icy rivers, Elivogs carrying venomous yeast.
Venomous yeast.
Interpreted as that chemical-rich clay from the comet hardening into ice, and drizzling rain from this venom freezing into rime, layer upon layer, filling the Ginnunga Gap.
Ginnunga Gap, the great void.
Interpreted here as the North Atlantic, choked with ice. While the south, Muspelheim, maybe representing Africa, was still glowing hot, and the initial clay made the water toxic, unfit for human use.
The level of detail is just mind-boggling, which, yeah, this raises an important question. How did they know all this, these apparent geological and chemical details?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It suggests either incredible observation skills passed down through millennia or... well, it's hard to explain otherwise within this framework.
It really is compelling. But amidst all this fire and ice, the story doesn't end there, does it? There's hope.
Yes, absolutely. The narrative shifts dramatically towards recovery. The clouds disappear, the floods find their way back to the ocean, nature begins to decorate once more the scarred and crushed face of the world. Renewal begins.
So nature recovers.
Yeah.
But what about people? Where was humanity during all this? Did anyone survive?
The legends are very clear on this. Yes, survivors. Specifically, a woman by the name of Lif and a man named Lifrazor.
Lifrazor.
They lie concealed in Hodmimer's hold, or forest, understood to be a cave, some kind of refuge. And get this detail. The dew of the dawn serves them for food.
Just dew. Wow.
It emphasizes their survival against all odds, and the source highlights a really crucial line about them. From them are the races descended.
The start of a new humanity.
Exactly. And this, the source argues forcefully, shows the legend is history, not prophecy. It's about a day of judgment that already happened.
Not something yet to come.
Right. It refers to the past. And there are other survivors mentioned too. Vidar and Vale from the god race. They also survived, likely hidden away. And Mod and Manya, Thor's sons. They show up bringing Mjolnir, Thor's hammer.
The hammer survived.
Symbolically, yes. Representing perhaps the survival of the works of the old civilization, some knowledge, some tools carried through, and even Balder the sun and Hodor the night return, signifying the natural cycles are restored.
So it's a complete reset. Nature, humanity, even the symbols of the old world and the cosmos find a way back.
A full planetary renewal. The Vala, the Cirrus figure, sees it all. She sees arise the second time from the sea, the earth, completely green.
That's beautiful.
Isn't it? Cascades falling, eagles soaring. The sun shines again in heaven. Night and day follow each other in an endless revolution. Things are back to normal, but new.
And here's where it gets really interesting again for me. The gods gather, right, on Ida's plains. And they remember the past horrors, the serpent, the wolf.
They remember the cataclysm, and they recall the ancient runes of the mighty Odin, the lost wisdom.
And then they find something amazing.
Yes, the wonderful golden tablets are found in the grass in time's morning.
Golden tablets. What are they supposed to be?
Our source interprets them as actual inscribed tablets by which the art of writing survived to the race.
Written records. Surviving the apocalypse.
The rediscovery of knowledge. The foundation for rebuilding civilization.
Wow. So that final stage, it's not just about green fields, it's about knowledge returning.
Precisely. It marks the rebirth of civilization itself. A new happy age begins where the fields unsown yield their growth. All ills cease. Harmony is restored. Ragnarok is truly over.
And there you have it. We've gone from Ragnarok as just a myth to, well, this incredibly detailed potential account of a comet impact, global fire, a sudden ice age, and then the slow rebirth of Earth and humanity.
It really reframes the entire narrative, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. What really stands out, I think, is how this theory takes something often dismissed as, a wild, unmeaning rhapsody and sees it instead as this powerful ancient record, a testament maybe to collective memory encoding something immense.
Almost scientifically in its own way.
Yeah, providing these inestimable pictures of an infinite past. Maybe even, as the source suggests, surpassing the stories of Rome and Greece in its scope. So what stands out to you listening to this?
It makes you think, definitely.
Right. If the Scandinavian Eddas could hold such a detailed, even if allegorical, record of a cosmic event and planetary renewal, well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other despised heritage, what other myths from around the world might be waiting?
Waiting to be understood, not just as folklore, but perhaps as history.
Exactly. What other profound truths about our planet's deep, deep past might still be hidden right there in plain sight, just waiting for us to find the right way to look at them?
A lot to think about.
Definitely something to ponder. We'll leave you with that thought until our next deep dive.